with the darkest hour every day here. Families walk in. We have families come in and mom or dad was 95, 98 years old, and they say, well, they lived a good life. And you're sad to see them go. And we have people come in and they've lost a 6-month-old child. It's tough. I am privileged to help families when they come. I'm not a preacher, but this is my ministry. This is what God called me to do.
Amen.
So the church asked me to go to Senegal. And so I prayed about it, and I just felt, in Matthew, the Bible, God says, go ye into all the world. Right. We're all supposed to go somewhere, whether it's Baytown, Texas, or wherever it is you're supposed to go, but I just felt that I was supposed to go. Didn't know much about Senegal. Studied up on it, prayed, thought we were prepared to go, so we went. It's a 4-person team, 2 men, 2 women. And they have small villages in Senegal. They're tribal villages. The chief is in charge of the village. You have to have his permission to stay. But they had sent word. We had gone before. Our church had gone before and had not gone for 2 years for a variety of reasons. But they sent word through some missionaries. They wanted us to come back. So we were invited. So we went in response to the invitation. And this is a 99% Muslim country.
Jesus.
They say the greatest con, he was talking about it earlier, 90% truth and 10% false. There's just enough, there's a lot of truth in there, and you're deceived. When Lucifer was kicked out of heaven and fell to earth, they changed his name to Satan, which means the deceiver. And anything that comes that is deceptive comes from Satan, and is evil. So, Muslim religion is evil because it deceives people. It blinds them to the truth. So it's either of God or it's of Satan. So it makes it evil. So we're in this country that's 99% evil, and a beautiful country. Great people. They were incredibly kind, welcoming. We have, through a series of, we broke the Bible down into 39 stories that we asked them if we can tell a story, and they listen intently to the story, ask great questions. We have interpreters, they speak. We were in 5 different villages, and there's 4 different languages in 5 different villages, and geographically they're within 20 miles of each other. So there is no predominant language. The only good thing about the language barrier was every small village has a mosque. 10 years ago, all these villages got electricity. So what they did was they put a loudspeaker on each side of the mosque. There's 4 speakers. And when they do the call to prayer 5 to 7 times a day, it's amplified. But Friday is their holy day, like Sunday is our day. We worship on Sunday. We go to church, depending on what church you go to, how long it lasts. You may miss lunch, depending on how your church happens. But Friday is their holy day. Well, they not only amplify the call to prayer, they amplify the prayers. So you just have amplified evil all day long on Friday. But since we didn't speak the language, you could tune that out. That was the one blessing for us. I was just overwhelmed by a sense of evil. I have been in places in my life on different trips and different things where I met a person and was struck that this person was an evil person.
Right.
But I've never been in a place where the whole country was just an evil place. It was over to provide them with material in Matthew 28, verses 19 and 20, at the end of the verse it says, I wrote it down. Sure you did. It says, go ye therefore into all the world, right? Teaching them whatsoever things I have taught you. We're supposed to disciple. right? So we can go to other countries and we can tell them about Jesus, but we come up short on the second part, the discipling part. You know, how would you feel if you were in a foreign country, if you were in Senegal, it was your home, 99% Muslim. The two young men from the college, the university that we had as interpreters, comprised half of the prayer team at the university. There's only 4 known Christians at the whole university in Dakar, and they're begging for material for discipleship. So we're going to go back. Our church is we're trying to send a group once a quarter, at least twice a year, but once a quarter. We continue to teach the stories, and it's an uphill battle because they are deceived. They say, "Oh, well, that's just like in the Quran. Jesus is just like Muhammad, or Jesus is just like this," and it's not. Evil is so prevalent in this country. There's a town a short distance away. I can't remember the name of the town, but this town has an evil that they've actually given a name to. This evil spirit has been given a name.
Wow.
And people are afraid to go to that town because of the evil that's in it. That's how much evil exists, just openly exists in this country. And when you go there, missionaries that go there, they only stay 2 months at a time, and then they go somewhere else for about a week and take a break because it just wears them down 24/7. Missionaries to Senegal, if you know anybody that is a missionary in Senegal, you need to pray for them daily because it just eats them up. So anyway, that's a dark place. It's a dark hour. But I did spiritual battle in the middle of the week. This evil just wore me down. So I couldn't sleep. It was like 3 in the morning. We were a block from the beach in this little town called Popenguine, Senegal. So I got up. I had Skype with my wife, and the time difference. I Skyped my wife, and I'm like, well, it's just a tough place, right? I was in a dark place. I hadn't lost anybody, but it was a battle. The Bible clearly states, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Well, this wasn't a flesh and blood battle, but it was a battle. So my biggest fear was we weren't going to reach these people. That I was inadequate to reach these people. And so I'm sitting on this beach about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm 7,000 miles from home, and I'm feeling pretty ineffective. So I need a little guidance. And then something I learned a long time ago, God brought back to my mind. I didn't have to do anything. And Matthew said, go. I went. And when it comes time to tell the stories, right, God gives you words. If you're doing what He said, what He wants you to do, when He wants you to do it, He's going to give you the words. But then I had this really, really liberating moment. I said the words that God gave me, right? It was great. We're sitting outside under this huge tree, 45 people sitting around in a circle, right? And I get the privilege to tell the story. And we started at the beginning. We were talking about the creation of heaven and earth. We were talking about the fall of angels. So they could understand where the evil came from, because they lived in a very evil place. So we were helping define that. So I was sitting on that beach, and it dawned on me I wasn't responsible for the words. God gave me the words. God was responsible for it. He would do it. I didn't have to do a thing. It was very liberating. All I had to do was get on the plane and show up. Right? God would give me the words, and then He would. I can't save anybody, but God can. Right? So sometimes it's been my experience when I'm in a dark place and I'm having a dark hour, it's because I get in the way.
My God.
Right? If I get in the way, then I wind up sitting on the beach in Popenguine, Senegal, going, God, I have no idea why I'm here. I was just there so He could. I was there, and I was privileged enough to be there for Him to use me.
Amen.